Hello and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me in another of my wonderful interviews. Yes, that man is back with some more advice and help. You might find one of those summonses for whatever reason, and you may have to go in front of the beak. And it may be that you want to have a full trial, as in a trial by jury. Well, what do you do? What do you do? What possible things can you say to help your cause to make things go smoothly and not let yourself put your foot in the wrong jurisdiction? Well, Dean is back from Buxton. Hello, Dean.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Very excited about this. We're doing a bit more role playing, which is very good. We're going to be in a courtroom, which is very, very nice, very exciting. And once again, we're going to try and help our audience by just giving some basic sort of suggestions, really. None of this is legal advice. We should point that out as such. But so just set the scene then, Dean. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, so this is the basics of what to say, how to say it. Should you be charged with a criminal offence? Okay, so the same applies to civil issues with regard, parking issues and all of those various civil issues. And I hold the stance that we should still maintain all of this that we're going to talk about, even in civil issues, even if we don't get the desired outcome. It's a statement that we don't consent to their system and we require our own. But yes, it's for a criminal issue, and it's the very basics of what will get you a trial by jury.
Right. And you may want to go back, if you haven't watched it, the video that we talked about the trial by jury with Anglo-Saxon law. Go and check that out. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. Excuse me. Now, in this little bit of play acting that we're going to do, the courtroom, we obviously don't have all the players that you have in a court. We've got the defendant, which is going to be Dean, prosecutor, clerk of the court, and all these others, and Mackenzie friends, and goodness knows whatever you want. There's only me, and I'm going to play the judge, the magistrate here. Now, Dean did ask if I had a wig and gown. Alas, I haven't. I have got a handkerchief, which I did put on my head to try and say, would that work? And what did you say?
You look like old Mother Hubbard.
Thank you very much. So I'm not wearing that as a thing. So just to take me as a judge without the wig on. But so whoops, hang on. I've just done something to my screen here. That's better. So we're going to start at the point in which the defender, is coming in to the court. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you come into the court, and I shall be the judge up on the bench, ready to deal with it all. So here we go. Yes. What is your name?
I'm commonly known as Dean from Buxton.
I see. And what is your date of birth?
I have no first-hand knowledge of that.
Right, I see. And what is your address?
You can contact me at give the town hall where you are as an address. That has been accepted and we have tested it. So the town hall where you are.
Right, well, so, Mr. Dean Buxton, I wonder if you would just come forward a little.
You can call me Dean of Buxton. I don't need any titles.
I see. One moment, please. Talking there to the prosecutor. Yes, I see. Right. Well, I have the charge here, which I shall read out now. Mr. Dean Buxton, you are... I beg your pardon?
I do not understand.
Well, I'll read it out to you. You are charged with the offence of criminal damage to a car window. How do you plead?
I do not understand. I require a trial by jury.
Would you take a seat, Mr. Buxton?
I do not understand.
Yeah. Yes. Look. There's no need for a full trial. We can hear the case right here and now. Thank you.
I do not understand. I require a trial by jury.
I say, what is it exactly that you don't understand?
I do not understand. I require a trial by jury.
Yes, I appreciate that you want a trial, and effectively this is what we're doing. So what is it that you don't understand?
I do not understand. I require a trial by jury.
Now listen, Mr. Buxton, you are trying my patience.
I do not understand. I require a trial by jury.
Yes, you've made that blatantly clear. Thingy, come over. Thingy, that's not your name, is it? Oh, Mrs. Thingy, yes, you're the clerk of the court. Nice name. Yes, let's have a look. Right, okay, thank you. So, the case will now be adjourned, and let's have a look at my notes there. Yes, it's set for the 18th of June, 2025. Can you make that?
I hear your words, but I do not understand.
Very well. You are free to go.
I leave by my own volition.
Well, that was a very unusual case, wasn't it? What do you think, Mrs. Jones? Yes, a cup of tea in the back, shall we? Just you and me, you know what I mean. We'll close the curtains and... Thank you. The rest of you can go. And, of course, it fades out, and 9 months later, this little baby comes along. Anyway, the judge is a proud father. So this is fascinating there. So talk us through what's gone on, because you've blatantly not answered any of the questions the judge had, and you have demanded the trial by jury. He sets you free at the end. There is nothing. Presumably, it's not adjourned, and presumably, then the crime is wiped out. Is that true?
No, an adjournment, kind of got a bit mixed up there. An adjournment is simply set for another day.
Yes.
But what you're doing is, when you are doing this, i.e., I do not understand, to every single question that they ask, is that it's a statement, very powerful, that you are not going to consent to their system. Remember, if you were on the street, you could be robbed by a bully or a thief or a thug of some description. Okay.
Yes.
The government needs an element. I know they're trying to make this element thinner and thinner, but they need an element of legitimacy. And if waves and waves and waves of people stood up in front of them on their turf and said, I'm not consenting to your system, I require my own. I've said it before, that would send shockwaves throughout the judiciary. And it's going to. It's happening.
Mm. So you're not consenting by I do not understand. And you, at the end there, you said, you didn't take the title. So every time he mentions the title, you push back on that and say, I'm known as Dean. And the address is the town hall, not your own.
That's sort of a couple of areas, a couple of angles on that, is that if they haven't got an address for you, and I'm not talking about driving issues, because that's different, because you're probably using the fiction, so that's very different. So if they haven't got an address for you, then you can use your local town hall. And we have had this confirmed and accepted in the courts prior to this. But if they have got an address for you already, which is no real big issue, then just use the one that they already have if you're not giving them new information.
Right. So, yeah, okay. And at the end of this, then, you say, I hear your words.
Yeah, so you asked me, and I've worded it that way so that you asked me in a particular manner. You asked me, am I available on that day?
Yes.
Now, if I give you a straight answer, then it means that I'm able to comprehend or understand you. But when I use the words, I hear your words, it doesn't mean that I understand or comprehend or anything. It simply means that I'm hearing a vibration from your mouth. So that's why I say, I hear your words, but I do not understand.
Right. And then at the end of it, they're forced to sort of let you go, but they have put in an adjournment.
Yeah, so they will have organized a date, and they will say that date, and then they will say you are free to leave, and to rebut the fact that you are allowing them you to leave, you state I leave of my own volition, which means free will.
Yes. So at no time have you given them any jurisdiction by agreeing to anything they've said.
No, you're basically going in there and stating if somebody's accusing me of something, I require my fellow man and woman to judge me on it. That's how I am going to be judged.
Yes. So would you repeat this process when at the next time that you're called in? You know, if they've adjourned it, you turn up on what was here the 18th of June next year, as we record this, and
Yeah,
then you would do the same and just keep saying, "I do not understand. I demand a trial by jury."
yeah. I did it 3 times in the magistrates and 6 times in the Crown Court.
Blimey!
And then
But
you will also hear it very fresh off the press. A friend of mine has just gone through the trial by jury process of how he has obtained the trial by jury, and he will also tell you how it is achieved very soon.
wow, okay. But ultimately, you could get there. Did you get there?
I got given the illusion of a trial, which was a right messed up old rigmarole, but 2015, this was still, early stuff, people
Yes.
representing themselves and trying to push back on the system. But here we are, sort of 9 years later. We're getting closer and closer, to having it widespread. So this is part of it.
So it just needs more and more people to sort of do this kind of thing in which you're not giving them any jurisdiction, and eventually they'll have to acquiesce.
Correct, because as I said before, they need an element of legitimacy. I know that legitimacy is getting thinner and thinner,
Hmm.
but they still need it, because if they don't, it tips from legitimate to tyrannical.
Yes, and that's that. Brilliant. Well, there we go. More words of wisdom from Dean of Buxton, who doesn't understand, but can be made to under certain instances when he's talking to me. Dean, thank you so much for that. It's really good. Have you got any more of these up your sleeve? Or are we going to see how these go? Oh, I think he's frozen. There we go. Well, he's smiling. That's the main thing. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Join me again on more of my interviews and my monologues. But until next time, goodbye.